Hi everyone, this is Amit, and this is my YouTube channel, Learning is Fun. So, I am an AI enthusiast and I've been working or practicing in this field for some time now. And I believe the best way to learn is to, uh, you know, uh, conduct session like this where you get a lot of information, and during the process of preparing for these things we learn a lot. So my only intention is to learn, and if people gain by it, I'm more than happy. So yeah, let's start off with the first topic. So this is linear regression. We'll be having multiple topics discussed here. So this is the first one. So let's get started. So the question is, what is regression? Now, a regression is an analysis or measure of relationship between variables. Now, what that means, like there are two variables. Now, with the increase or the decrease in the values of one variable, how does the other variable gets affected? So that is the relationship, isn't it? If we see, look at this example over here, we have the years of experience and we have the salary in lakhs, right? So what we see is that as the years of experience is increasing, the salary in lakhs is also increasing, which is a normal trend or general trend that happens, right? So this is one of the relationship that we are talking about, a linear relationship. Now over here, if we see the years of experience, right, which is actually an independent variable, it could be anything, isn't it? Is generally denoted by x generally. And salary actually is dependent. Why it's dependent is because it depends on what experience is not to generate the salary. And so it is a dependent variable and it is declared as, or it is noted as y. All right, so this is some basic mm, standards how it is denoted, but it's up to us. We can put any value or any variable. Okay, next is, what is linear regression? Now let's say the two variables that we talked about are parameters, which one was years of experience, other was salary. Now how does we represent it on a linear scale or on a straight line? Simple as that. So we, you guys would remember that we would have done equation of a line during our school days, like y equal to mx plus c, where y, in this case, if we look at the earlier example of salary and experience, so y over here will be the salary and x will be years of experience. Y is salary because this is a dependent variable, it depends on the years of experience, right? M is the slope or the coefficient or the weights. Weights is something that will come to later in our machine learning series, but it's a very important concept. Okay, C is equal to y-intercept. So these things are pretty known because we've already covered it during the school days. Now next is yeah, if we have values of y and x given, which we generally have, we can calculate m, and with that we can calculate y-intercept. Okay, we'll go through that. So if we put the values of salary and years of experience into a Cartesian coordinate system, this is how it looks like, yeah. So let's move to the next slide. All right. So yeah, I was talking about how to calculate slope and coefficient. So if we have y and x values given, we can calculate the slope. Now y bar and x bar are the mean or the average over here, which you can see is calculated here. All right, and then we are subtracting the mean with the values of that particular parameter, and yeah, it's pretty simple. Again, once we have the x, y, and slope calculated, we can calculate the c-intercept also. We can just put it into y equal to mx plus the equation, and we can calculate it. This is also pretty simple. Okay, next is now, so we learned about the basics of linear regression. Now let's put into a model and try to understand it from a machine learning perspective. So the thing is, linear regression equation y equal to beta naught beta 1 x1 beta 2x2 and plus e or epsilon. So what is this beta 1 beta naught beta? So these are the coefficients or weights for the respective parameters. Like x1 could be, like, let's say if we are trying to find the uh, let's say the price of a house, then x1 could be the size of the house, x2 could be the number of bedrooms in the house, and beta naught beta 1 are different coefficients with respect to these particular parameters. In okay, I was talking about weights, what we can say is that how much weightage one component has. So that's what, for example, beta 1 x1 over here, x1 is the size of the house, and let's say size of the house is an important factor, then beta one can be um, has to, I mean, it's a weight, we can get it in a way, or we can manipulate it in a way in order to get it at a higher value. I mean, again, this is from a machine learning perspective as to about weights. So I'll not dig into it later, but I'm just giving a kind of a brief or a a heads up that this would be a very important concept going forward. So now coming back to the normal linear regression model. So beta naught, beta 1, beta r, these are the regression coefficients, okay? And E is the error, which is actually the difference between linear difference between x and y values. So next is estimated regression equation, which is noted by y hat. Now all of this beta hat, beta 1 hat, x, beta 1 hat, and these coefficients are actually the estimated regression coefficients. This is something that we have to predict or derive, all right? And yeah, so once we have that and we put it into a value of the parameters like x, the independent parameters or independent variables, we get a y prediction like we have over here, isn't it? All right. So now the thing is, how do we calculate this beta naught, beta one, the predicted ones or the estimated regression coefficient? How do we calculate that? There are various ways, but most common is the least square method, which we'll go through. All right. So least square method, what we do is that, okay, first let's look at this particular diagram. Look, the green points that we see over here, right? These are the actual data that is given. Let's say it could be anything like, uh, this could be years of experience. I mean, it is not to scale, but just to think that this is years of experience and this is salary, and we see a general trend of increase, right? I mean, it could be increase or decrease, depends, it may fluctuate, but to get a point home, we have to find a line or a best fit line that is the sum of the squares is minimum for that, all right? One line that can give us the least sum of squares, okay? So this is the line over here, and these are the points for the corresponding actual response that we have. Okay, this is a predicted response on the line because all of these points has to be represented on the line. So we have to find a line which is whose sum of square is least with respect to all the actual response point or actual points that we have. So yeah, this is what actually the main principle or backbone of least square regression is. We have to estimate beta naught hat and beta 1 hat. So this is a formula. It's pretty simple. Since we already have x and y given, so we can calculate it. This is pretty simple. All right. Next, moving on to coefficient of determination R square. Now, this is an important topic over here because what this does is coefficient of determination gives us the variance or the dependence with of x with respect to y, or sorry, y with respect to x. Like if x changes, how much y would change? Okay, it's like a probability between 0 to 1, or percentage also can be called. So this is a formula for it. Yeah, SST is the total sum of squares. SSR is the sum of squares of residuals. Now R, like I mentioned about it being a probability, right? So look at this, like R square equal to 0 or tends towards 0 means that dependent variable cannot be predicted from the independent variable. Like the price of the house cannot be predicted from the size of the house, the number of bedrooms in the house, okay? And next is R square of 1 means that dependent variable can be predicted, whereas R square between 0 and 1 indicates the extent, again a probability to which the dependent variable can be predicted. All right, so we covered linear regression. We saw that there was one parameter or one independent variable, and we got one dependent variable. Now, what happens when there are multiple independent variable? Actually, I already discussed it in the earlier linear regression section where I mentioned about the price of the house, uh, which is let's say y over here, and there are different parameters that we consider or independent variables. One is the size of the house, other is the bedroom of the house, other could be some locality, or some other factors, x1, x2, x3, x4, let's say like that. So what if we have multiple parameters? In that case we use multiple regression. All right. So if you see the equation like b1 x1 b2 x2 bn x1, so these x1 x2 x3 all the different parameters, again b1 b2 b3 are the regression coefficient that we discussed, and c is our intercept. Again, everything remains the same. The way we calculate least square method, everything is same. It's just that we are using multiple regression. And once we go to the code demo, this will be clear. Next is polynomial regression. Now, how does it differ? Over here, we talk about the degree, okay, and its degree polynomial. That's what we see over here, right? If you look at the equation, b naught beta b1 x1 b2 x2, so degree is introduced over here. All right. So let's say if you look at a simple linear regression, okay, this is how it's supposed to be or could be. But once we are using a polynomial regression, we see that we are trying to find a line of best fit that is almost trying to cover all the points over here. Okay, this could create a problem. We'll discuss that in next slide. Yeah. So what's happening in polynomial regression over here is that, so this again, this degree is a hyperparameter that we can play around in machine learning, and how it helps is something that we are going to see in this slide. Now, if you see the degree is one, right? It's a linear regression. All right. These are the actual points, and this is the straight line. So we can see that this is kind of a linear regression. All right. So again, if you ask me, in some ways I would say that this is like underfitting the model. Okay. Next is like a degree equal to 2. Now if we see that this is trying to cover almost all the points, okay, I mean it does fairly good in covering most of the points. Now third is, if you see degree equal to 3, this is trying to cover all the points, like it's trying to follow the trend of the curve, isn't it? And if you look at the last one, which is degree equal to 5, is actually covering all the points. All right. So what is the problem in that? That like this one, right? This is example of an overfit, a complete overfit situation. Now what's happening is that completely aligning with the data that we have. Now once we give it new data to predict, it will struggle. It may not give us a good response, okay, because it's trying to adapt to uh, a particular way the data has been set over here. We need some flexibility over here. So again, this one also, if we see, it's trying to follow the trend, the curves and all that we see, it's trying to follow the trend. Okay, but this one over here, this looks pretty good. This is more comfortable for us. Okay, last one, if you see, is definitely first one, sorry, it's definitely underfitting. Okay, it's not at all giving us a good model with respect to the data points. But the second one would be the most comfortable selection for us over here. It's neither underfits nor overfits, and just about comfortable for us. All right. Now coming to the linear regression in Python part. Now we have standard libraries or modules that we use in, or packages also can be said, that we use in Python. One is NumPy, which will be using extensively in machine learning. So this is basically the arrays and other calculations kind of a thing we do using NumPy. Scikit-learns give us, basically it's into pre-processing of data. We use it a lot in image processing and things like that. So we'll discuss that in a later section. Stat model, again, it performs linear regression or a polynomial regression, but it gives us a lot of data with respect to statistics. We'll see that later. So again, it will do the same thing, but in case we are more interested towards getting the statistical data, we can use that model. Okay. All right. So we'll go through the code demo for linear regression, multiple regression, and polynomial regression. All right. So yeah. Okay. So this is linear regression. Now what we are first of all, we are importing NumPy as NP over here. We are importing sklearn that we discussed about, and through sklearn we are getting the linear model that will implement. Now these are the values of x and y. Now x is the independent variable, and we have given some generic values over here. I mean, I've not pulled it from a data set. I can do that, that's easy. But since it's a beginner class, so I'm just have given some values over here. and then I've given some predicted values. Like you can just think of this as this is the years of experience, and this is the salary kind of a thing. I mean, it may not match, but just to drive the point home. Okay, now we are just printing it. So this is an important part where we are using the linear regression, which we imported from sklearn, and we are trying to fit the model. All right, we're trying to get the best line fit. Okay, best line of best fit. Yeah. Now next is like coefficient of determination, the r square that we saw, which was like how much y varies with variance in x, the correlation or the dependence, whatever you can call that. So that is being calculated using model score xy, and this is being printed. Then intercept we can calculate using model dot intercept. Then this is model dot coefficient. This is already written methods and functions, so we just have to call them. That's what's the benefit of using linear regression model from sklearn. Already everything is implemented. We just have to call it, put it into our data, and see. Now once we have all these things, we are trying to get a prediction. Now we pass the x values and try to see what the y values is predicted as. Okay, so if we see over here, first is that print x and y. So the values of x and y is printed over here. Coefficient of determination we get like around 0.71. Next is intercept, we get slope. Now these are the predicted value 8.3, 13.9. Now if you look at it in terms of a straight line, this is the best values that we can get with respect to a linear regression. Okay, it cannot be an exact because it's a value, because it's a linear regression, a straight line, but this is the best that it can give us. Okay, now next is multiple linear regression. Now pretty simple and pretty similar to linear regression. The only thing is that the number of independent variables over here varies, right, or are more than one. That's what we see over here. Excuse me. 0 1 5 1. So we can say that this particular section is the size of the house, and this particular section over here is the uh, number of bedrooms. I mean, just to drive the point home that we are looking for multiple parameters over here, multiple independent variables that will give us a dependent variable, which is y1. So everything is same, it's just that we have given multiple x values over here. Okay, since we have multiple independent parameters, and then it gives us a value. So this is pretty similar. Next is polynomial regression. Now this is where the degree of equation comes into picture. uh, Again, here we use one more thing from sklearn preprocessing, which is polynomial features. This is used because over here we have a concept of degree, yeah, which is a hyperparameter. So that's why and that is implemented to polynomial features. So that is what we have done. We have put a degree 2 over here. We're doing a fit. uh, yeah, next is we are calling, again we are, after doing that we will just do a linear regression fit that we have done in the earlier examples, and we are getting the model score, we are getting the model intercept, model coefficient, model predictor. These are same as that we have done in the earlier steps, and this is what we get. So this is pretty simple. Okay, it's just that we use one more feature or module over here, which is polynomial features, because the degree of equation comes into picture over here. Next is advanced linear regression with stat model. Now I did discuss about stat model. Now stat model is it does the same thing. It gives us linear regression or multiple regression, but it gives us further data. I mean, just we can go through this particular statement over here, which says that this SM model is being we are getting it from statmodels.api, and obviously rest of the stuffs are pretty similar. Everything is pretty similar. I would like to focus on the output over here. So this is in this part we know that x and y values, but this is the output where it gives us a lot of details, kurtosis and Dublin Watson, these things, log likelihood, r squared is we get in the other ones as well. But the range of output is like, if we are really want this kind of output, we will go for stat model, but everything process and everything is same. All right guys, so yeah, so yeah, we discussed about linear regression, multiple regression, polynomial regression. If you guys have any doubt, please comment on the below and let me know. so that I can probably help improve this tutorial as well. And it was a quick tutorial, I mean less than 20 minutes or things like that, just to give a brief of what happens. And we will definitely in future tackle all of these topics in a more extensive way. So thank you for listening to me, and we'll catch up next time with other tutorial on machine learning topic. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.